All right, so get ready, because in this deep dive, we have quite the roadmap laid out for us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like this comprehensive guide for scaling a tech product. Starting from its humble beginnings is just a minimum viable product
Right?
and taking it all the way to a global platform
Wow.
with 1 million users.
That is quite a journey.
It is, and get this, it's focused on building an AI-powered travel guide.
Okay, interesting.
So, for all of you listeners out there who are, travel enthusiasts, this is going to be really exciting. But
Yeah.
but what's really fascinating about this guide is that it's not just for travel.
Huh.
The principles that it lays out,
Yeah,
you can apply them to almost any digital business that's looking to scale.
I see. It's kind of like a blueprint
It is.
for both the technical side of things
Yeah.
and the entrepreneurial journey as well.
Exactly. So we're talking about how the architecture, the team, even the monetization strategy, all of that has to evolve as your user base grows.
Makes sense.
So for all you developers and entrepreneurs out there,
Yeah.
this one's for you.
This is the good stuff.
This is the good stuff. Let's jump right in.
Okay.
So imagine you're building this travel guide app, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the absolute bare minimum you could start with?
Yeah, where do you even begin?
Where do you even begin? What would that MVP look like?
Well, this guide really starts you off with a laser focus on validation.
Okay.
They advocate for starting with an incredibly simple travel guide.
Okay. Like how simple are we talking?
I'm talking hyper-local.
Okay.
Maybe just Istanbul's historic peninsula, for example.
Okay.
And no need for fancy AI at this point, just a carefully curated list of, let's say, the top 10 must-see spots.
So no bells and whistles just yet.
Exactly.
It's really about proving that core concept first.
Right. Can you get even 10 people to actually use your app?
10 people, that's it.
That's it, but here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
They want you to integrate payment processing right from the get-go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. So you're saying before we've even proven that people want this,
Mm-hmm.
we're already asking them to pay for it?
That's right. Forget
Yeah.
waiting around. You need to start testing your revenue model immediately.
Interesting.
Even charging $1 for premium information
Okay.
can be incredibly insightful.
I see.
It gives you real data on user behavior, their willingness to pay,
Mm-hmm.
and helps you understand what aspects of your app people truly value.
It's about getting practical,
Yes.
not just theoretical.
Exactly. And this bare bones MVP approach extends to the tech stack as well.
Okay, so what are they recommending on the tech side?
They recommend a simple Golang backend with a REST API, a single Postgres database instance, and a small VPS for deployment.
So lean and mean,
Lean and mean, perfect for rapid iterations.
and no AI module at this point.
Nope, not yet. It's all about manual curation, laying the groundwork for future intelligence.
Okay, so we've got this super simple app,
Yes.
super simple tech stack. What about the team?
Even the team is lean. They suggest a single person handle everything.
Wow, everything.
Everything. The back end, front end, payment integration, even the marketing.
This is like the ultimate lean startup approach.
Sure.
So let's say we've got our MVP out there.
Okay.
We're gathering data,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even making a few bucks.
Yeah.
What happens when we hit 500 users?
500 users. Okay, things are getting interesting.
Where do the cracks start to show?
Performance becomes a key concern at this stage.
Okay,
The guide suggests introducing caching,
caching.
using Redis to store frequently accessed data.
Gotcha, so Redis for caching.
Exactly.
Now, what about on the AI side?
Yeah.
Do we start sprinkling in some intelligence at this stage?
Yes, we do. We take a baby step away from those static lists.
Okay.
This is where user feedback comes into play.
Yeah.
They suggest using signals like which spots are consistently favorited to influence recommendations.
I see. So if users consistently love a certain spot,
Mm-hmm.
it gets a boost in the rankings.
Right.
It's subtle, but it's a step towards personalization.
Right. Exactly, making the app smarter with each interaction.
And I imagine the monetization evolves too at this point.
It does. They suggest moving beyond one-time purchases
Okay.
and exploring monthly subscriptions for premium features.
Okay, so what kind of premium features are we talking?
Maybe you offer exclusive travel tips, curated itineraries, early access to new content,
I see.
all for a recurring fee.
It's all about finding what those users truly value
Yes.
and are willing to pay for consistently.
Exactly. And meanwhile, on the tech side, you're likely still running a monolithic architecture,
Okay.
but they recommend utilizing Goroutines in Goroutine to handle concurrency more effectively.
Okay, so Gordians for concurrency.
Mm-hmm.
What about monitoring? Are we doing anything there?
You're also implementing basic monitoring with tools like Prometheus and Grafana to keep an eye on performance.
Gotcha. So that's like our early warning system.
Exactly.
Now, what about the team? Are we still a solo founder at this point?
You might still be a solo founder at this stage, but it's time to start thinking about bringing on some freelance help.
Okay, like who?
Perhaps a UI/UX designer to enhance the user experience.
Makes sense, but I have a feeling things are about to get a whole lot more interesting as we approach the 5,000 user mark.
Oh yeah, buckle up.
What happens then?
Database optimization becomes a major focus.
Okay, in what way?
The guide warns about potential bottlenecks at this stage. Optimizing database queries and adding indexes become crucial.
So it's not just about adding features.
Right.
It's about making sure what we have is running smoothly under the hood.
Exactly. And they strongly recommend implementing an application performance monitoring tool.
So what would that be?
Something like Datadog or New Relic.
Okay,
Think of these tools like an X-ray for your application,
interesting.
helping you pinpoint those pesky performance bottlenecks and highlight areas for improvement.
Gotcha. So it's like having a doctor for your app.
Exactly.
Now, this is also where we see the introduction of a true machine learning model, right?
Yes, finally. The AI gets real.
All right, so what are they suggesting?
They advocate for an offline ML model, perhaps built using Python and scikit-learn,
Right.
to analyze user preferences and implement collaborative filtering.
Collaborative filtering. So what's that?
Think Netflix recommendations, but for travel.
Uh-huh. So instead of just boosting favorited spots,
Right.
this model can analyze patterns across users
Exactly.
and suggest hidden gems based on the tastes of similar travelers.
Precisely.
That's a big leap towards truly personalized recommendations.
It is.
Now, how do we integrate this into the existing architecture?
It's still a relatively simple model at this stage.
Okay.
The results are pre-calculated and then served through your Go backend.
Gotcha. No need to overcomplicate things.
Exactly.
And what about the monetization? How's that looking at this stage?
On the monetization front, you're continuing to refine your pricing,
Okay.
maybe introducing basic and pro plans with distinct feature sets.
All right, so different tiers of service.
Exactly.
And what's the goal at this point?
Convert at least 5% of your free users to a paid plan.
5%, all right.
Demonstrate the value you're creating and start building that sustainable revenue stream.
Okay, so sustainable revenue is key here.
It is, and you might even consider bringing on a part-time back-end engineer or a data engineer
Okay.
to help manage the evolving complexity of the ML pipeline and database optimizations.
So the team is starting to grow.
Slowly but surely.
But hold on tight, because at 50,000 users, we're about to enter a whole new world
Oh, I know.
of scaling challenges
Yeah.
and architectural shifts.
Get ready for microservices.
Microservices, why the shift?
Those monolithic architectures are starting to show their limitations.
I see, so we're breaking the monolith.
It's time.
But what about the database? Does that need an overhaul too?
Absolutely. They recommend adopting a hybrid approach to data management.
Hybrid approach, what does that mean?
You'll likely keep Postgres for managing user and tainment data, but introduce NoSQL databases like MongoDB or Elasticsearch for faster searching and retrieval of travel information.
Interesting, so each database optimized for a specific task.
Exactly.
Now, with microservices and a hybrid database strategy, what's happening on the AI front?
The AI is getting even more sophisticated.
On the way.
It's time to incorporate a basic natural language processing NLP layer to handle user queries.
NLP, okay, so what would that look like in practice?
Imagine a user asking, "Where's the best seafood restaurant near me?"
Okay.
NLP helps understand the intent behind that question and then find the most relevant answer from your data.
Okay, so it's like having a conversation with the app.
Exactly.
Now, what about leveraging those powerful pre-trained language models we hear so much about?
They suggest doing just that to further enhance recommendation quality and the overall intelligence of the AI.
So it's like giving our AI a turbo boost.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got microservices, a hybrid database strategy, a smarter AI powered by NLP. What about the business side?
Yeah, how are we making money at this scale?
Exactly.
The monetization strategy evolves to include more targeted advertising,
Okay,
potentially even sponsored results for local businesses.
so more targeted ads, sponsored results, anything else.
You might even offer corporate packages tailored for hotels and tour operators.
I see. So integrating our recommendations into their services for a fee.
Precisely.
So multiple revenue streams starting to flow.
Yes.
And how does the team need to adapt to handle all of this?
We're now talking about a team of 3 to 5 people,
Okay.
including at least 2 back-end engineers,
Right.
one focused on those evolving ML aspects,
Mm-hmm.
a front-end engineer, a dedicated DevOps or SRE, site reliability engineer,
Okay.
and a marketing or growth expert.
It's a full-fledged company now.
It is not
Yeah.
just a small startup anymore.
But we're not stopping there.
Oh, no, we're just getting started.
Because when you hit that 500,000 user mark,
Yeah,
you're going global.
it's a whole new ball game.
And that brings a whole new set of challenges.
And exciting opportunities.
So that's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
Can't wait.
We'll explore the world of CDNs, regional data centers, and even more advanced AI.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You know, picking up where we left off talking about going global, well, when your user base explodes to 500,000,
Yeah.
you are officially playing on a world stage.
A whole different ballgame.
It is, and this is where this guide really hammers home the need for a truly global infrastructure.
Okay, so not just an app that can be accessed anywhere,
Right.
but one that actually feels fast
Yeah,
and responsive,
yeah,
no matter where the user is.
exactly. And so first off, they recommend setting up a content delivery network, a CDN.
Okay, CDN.
Something like Cloudflare
There you
is a
go.
popular choice.
Yeah.
This helps efficiently deliver static content like images and videos to users worldwide.
So whether someone's in Rio
Whoa.
or Reykjavik,
Yeah.
they're not just sitting there staring at a loading spinner while a photo of the Eiffel Tower slowly materializes.
Exactly. But minimizing those delays takes more than just a CDN.
Okay, but what else?
The guide also suggests deploying regional data centers,
Data centers, okay.
perhaps in Europe, the US, and Asia.
Gotcha. So spread them out geographically.
Yeah, this way users are connecting to servers that are physically closer to them.
Makes sense. You don't want someone in Tokyo waiting for information to travel all the way from a server in London.
Exactly.
It's all about minimizing those frustrating delays.
It is, and it's not just about spreading out the servers.
Right.
The guide also stresses the importance of geo-replicating your databases.
Geo-replicating databases.
Okay, so instead of having one central database, you have copies in each regional data center.
I see.
This way users are always reading data from the closest possible location.
So it's like having a network of mini libraries,
Yes,
each one perfectly stocked with the information most relevant to its local visitors.
exactly. You're anticipating their needs based on where they are.
Okay, so we're thinking globally,
Mhm.
acting locally, but what about the AI?
Yeah.
Does location impact how that's working?
Absolutely. At this scale, the AI needs to become far more sophisticated.
Okay, how so?
We're no longer just personalizing recommendations based on someone's past favorites.
Right.
We're factoring in real-time context.
Real-time context, so like what?
We're talking about considering the user's current location, the weather, even the travel season to tailor its suggestions.
Oh, wow. So it's like having a travel guide that intuitively understands what you might enjoy.
Yes.
Based on where you are and what's happening around you.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got location, weather, seasonality,
Mm-hmm.
all feeding into the AI.
And with a global audience,
Yeah.
language becomes crucial as well.
Right, we can't assume everyone speaks the same language.
We can't.
How do we handle that?
The guide recommends implementing multi-language NLP models.
Multi-language NLP.
This ensures that users can get answers and recommendations in their preferred language, regardless of where they are.
So breaking down those communication barriers, making the app truly accessible to a global audience.
That's the goal.
Are there any other cool AI features they suggest at this stage?
They even touch on image recognition.
Image recognition, okay.
Imagine a user taking a picture of a monument
Mm-hmm.
and then asking the app, what's the history of this place?
Right.
That's where image recognition comes in,
Yeah.
allowing users to interact with the app in a more visual and intuitive way.
So we've got a global infrastructure,
Mm-hmm.
a context-aware AI,
Yeah.
multilingual support,
Yeah.
and image recognition.
It's getting pretty advanced.
It is. What's going on under the hood to make all of this possible?
Things are getting significantly more complex.
Okay.
You're likely using Kubernetes or ECS Fargate for container orchestration,
Container
for
orchestration.
managing all those independent microservices.
So it's like having a conductor
Yes,
coordinating an entire orchestra of software components.
exactly. And to manage the communication between all these services, you'll likely introduce a service mesh,
Service mesh, okay.
like Istio or Linker.
Okay, and what does a service mesh do?
Think of it as a network of roads and traffic signals, making sure that data flows smoothly and efficiently between different parts of your app.
Okay, so keeping that traffic moving.
Yeah, and with a distributed system spanning continents,
Right.
the guide highlights the importance of distributed tracing,
Distributed tracing, right?
using tools like Jaeger.
And what does that help us with?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's like having a crack team of digital detectives who can track down problems and bottlenecks
Okay.
across your entire system, no matter how complex it's become.
So you're not just guessing anymore.
Nope.
You've got real-time insights into how everything's performing.
Exactly. And with all these moving parts,
Mm.
the monetization strategy needs to be just as adaptable.
All right, so what are they suggesting at this point?
The guide talks about creating corporate packages specifically designed for travel agencies and hotels.
Okay, so targeting businesses now.
Yeah, you're leveraging your AI and data to enhance their own services.
So you're not just selling subscriptions to individual users anymore.
Yep.
You're becoming a valuable partner to some of the biggest players in the travel industry.
That's the idea.
Are there any other monetization strategies they suggest at this stage?
They also talk about running targeted ads for local businesses based on user location and interests.
Okay, so location-based advertising.
Exactly. It's another way to diversify your revenue streams.
Right, not putting all your eggs in one basket.
And make sure you're not reliant on just one source of income.
So multiple revenue streams, global infrastructure, sophisticated AI.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine how much the team needs to grow to handle all this.
You're looking at a team of 10-plus people now.
Wow, 10 plus.
You'll need specialized roles like back-end and front-end engineers,
Okay.
a dedicated AI team, DevOps SRE experts,
Right.
and a growing product and marketing team.
So it's a full-blown company,
It is.
not just a small startup anymore.
No, but we're not stopping there.
Of course not, because when you hit that incredible milestone of 1 million users,
1 million users,
you're entering the realm of truly distributed systems
Right.
and advanced AI.
That's where things get really exciting,
Exciting and maybe a little scary.
but also where the stakes get incredibly high.
All right, so the final leg of this journey is going to be wild. Get ready to dive into event-driven architectures, edge computing, and AI. So smart, it feels like science fiction.
We'll be back in a moment with the final part of this deep dive.
All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen this travel guide app evolve from a simple MVP to a global platform serving 500,000 users. But now we're pushing towards that incredible milestone, 1 million users.
It's a whole other level.
It is.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, this guide paints a picture of a system operating at an incredible scale.
Yeah, we're talking about truly distributed systems,
Okay.
edge computing, and a level of robustness that demands near-perfect uptime.
Near perfect uptime. Wow. So no room for error.
They even recommend offering strict SLAs,
That's the latest.
service-level agreements,
Right.
guarantees of performance and availability, backed by financial penalties if you don't deliver.
Oh, wow. So you're not just hoping things work.
Right.
You're making promises to your users
Yeah.
with real consequences if you fall short.
Exactly. The stakes are incredibly high at this level.
They are. But it's not just about keeping the lights on, right? The AI itself evolves into something truly remarkable.
Oh, absolutely.
What's the vision here?
They describe a personalized travel assistant that goes way beyond basic recommendations.
Okay.
This AI analyzes a user's entire travel history to suggest custom packages,
Wow.
predict their needs, and offer an incredibly tailored experience. It's like having a personal concierge in your pocket.
So we're not just talking about suggesting restaurants or hotels anymore.
Nope.
We're talking about crafting entire travel itineraries based on individual preferences and past behavior.
Exactly.
So what are some of the specific AI features they envision at this stage?
Well, they talk about image-based search, where a user can upload a photo and ask context-specific questions.
Okay, so like what?
Imagine taking a picture of a landmark
Mm-hmm.
and asking the app, what are the opening hours? Or, are there any tours available in English?
Oh, that's cool.
And they even envision speech recognition and real-time translation,
Wow.
allowing users to interact with the app using their voice, regardless of their native language.
That's incredible. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
I know, right?
But what kind of technological wizardry is required to make this a reality?
It's pretty mind-blowing.
What's happening under the hood to support all of this?
Well, they talk about moving towards event-driven architectures,
Okay.
using platforms like Kafka or Pulsar to handle the immense volume of data flowing through the system.
All right, event-driven architectures, Kafka, Pulsar.
And to bring the AI closer to the user, reducing latency and enabling real-time responses, They suggest leveraging edge computing.
Edge computing, so instead of all the processing happening at a central data center,
Right.
we're distributing it to the edges of the network, closer to the users.
It's like having tiny AI brains scattered across the globe, ready to respond instantly to user requests.
Okay, so we've got event-driven architectures, edge computing, this incredibly complex system. What about monitoring and debugging all of this?
That becomes even more critical at this scale.
Of course.
They emphasize the need for incredibly sophisticated tools.
Okay.
We're talking about distributed logging, real-time performance analysis, and the ability to trace a single request as it journeys through a vast network of services. It's like having an army of digital detectives constantly on the lookout for any sign of trouble.
So we've got this incredibly advanced AI, this global infrastructure, this incredibly complex system. How did the monetization strategies evolve at this stage? Are we still talking about subscriptions and ads?
Those are still part of the equation, but at this level, they talk about securing major corporate deals with airlines and hotel chains, integrating your AI and data into their core operations.
So you're essentially selling your AI as a service, leveraging the data and intelligence you've built to empower other businesses.
Exactly. It's a whole new level of revenue generation.
It is. What about the team? I can only imagine the kind of talent and expertise needed to manage a million-user platform.
At this point, you're looking at a team of 30 or more people,
30 or more? Wow.
with specialized teams for AML, back-end development, front-end and mobile development, DevOps, SRE, and dedicated data analysts, product managers, marketing, and sales teams. It's an entirely different beast from that solo founder we started with.
It's a remarkable evolution. We started with a simple idea, a lean MVP, a single developer working tirelessly. But through careful planning, constant iteration, and a willingness to embrace new technologies, we've scaled this travel app into a global phenomenon, a business that touches the lives of millions.
It really is amazing to see how far it's come.
And it's a testament to the power of technology, the importance of data-driven decision-making, and the unwavering belief in the possibilities of innovation.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with this. What's your million-user idea? What impact do you want to make on the world? What journey will you take? The path is there, waiting to be discovered.